Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you had a really good weekend. Again, I'm not here today, obviously, since you're watching this recording. Today, make sure your cell phones are away. You really do need to pay attention. We're moving into poetry this week, and it's important that you pay attention because we're working on sonnets, and sonnets can be kind of difficult. You should have your binder out, and you need to have a quick write section, and you need to title it quick write number and whatever number we're on. I think we're on 4 or 5, and Miss Pat either already has or she's going to give you 2 worksheets for today. First one is this one. It has a graphic, it's like a graphic organizer. And the second one has some sonnet vocabulary on it. You guys could put those in your notes section. I would greatly appreciate that. All right, so you guys don't have any homework. And this is our quick write for today. So let me move myself up here. So you're going to read these 2 poems, Introduction to Poetry by Billy Collins. And it says, I ask them to take a poem and hold it up to the light like a color slide, or press an ear against its hive. I say, drop a mouse into a poem and watch him probe his way out, or walk inside the poem's room and feel the walls for a light switch. I want them to water ski across the surface of a poem, waving at the author's name on shore. But all they want to do is tie the poem to a chair with a rope and torture a confession out of it. They begin beating it with a hose to find out what it really means. And the second one is called How to Eat a Poem. Don't be polite, bite in, pick it up with your fingers, and lick the juice that may run down your chin. It is ready and right now whenever you are. You do not need a knife or fork or a spoon or plate or napkin or tablecloth, for there is no core or stem or rind or pit or seed or skin to throw away. So you're going to choose one of the following options over here. So you're going to write about anything this poem brings to mind. Write about your experiences with poetry. Are you a fan? Why or why not? Write about why we read poetry, or respond to one of these poems in poem form. So you have 5 minutes, and you can choose either poem to write about if you choose option 1 or 4. And your time starts now. All right, time's up. Normally we would turn and share with a neighbor, but I want to make sure you guys get through this lesson today. So maybe on Wednesday when I come back, we'll turn and share. All right, so we're going to move on to our activity called What Makes a Sonnet. So if you look around the room, you look at the front board over the pigeon poster, my I guess armoire or cabinet over towards the left, the window and the backboard, you're going to see there are 4 sonnets total, one hanging up in each area I just told you. You are going to walk around and I want you to read each sonnet. And while you're reading each sonnet, you are going to fill out this characteristic chart, one that Miss Pat already gave you. So you're going to answer the number of lines, number of stanzas, number of lines per stanza, if there's a shift, also known as the volta. If so, where is the shift? And then other observations. Oh, and rhyme scheme. What is the rhyme scheme like? If you're not sure, just make an educated guess. This is for you to see what you might already know and what makes a sonnet happen. So there should be no more than 7 people at a sonnet. And this is not a time to be on your phones. I need you guys actually taking these 10 minutes and working on your sonnet. So you have 10 minutes. You may get up and start now. You have just under 5 minutes to finish this activity. If you are finished, please head back to your seat. All right, time is up. If you do need more time, Miss Pat, could you just pause this video recording and allow them a little extra time? Thank you. All right, so the last thing we need to talk about today is sonnet vocabulary. And you guys, again, have this paper, which has all the sonnet vocabulary in it instead of making you write it all over. I just wanted to review some of this with you. So a Shakespearean sonnet, which is actually a sonnet type that I'm very familiar with as a teacher, probably more familiar than I'd like to be, thanks to British Lit English class in college. So it's a classical poetic form with specific characteristics. The sonnet contains 14 lines and has 3 quatrains, one ending couplet. It typically follows a rhyme scheme and iambic pentameter. Now, if you notice the poems you guys all read, they were all broken down into quatrains. So a quatrain is a 4-line stanza. So if you looked and if you thought about this in paragraph form, it would be like there are 3 paragraphs that have 4 lines. That's what a stanza is. And a quatrain, like the word quad, is 4. Then you have a couplet, which is a 2-line stanza seen at the end of each Shakespearean sonnet. So again, if you notice the sonnets you read, they all had these quatrains on them. Or not quatrains, couplets at the end. There were just 2 lines at the end. Next, there's a volta, which is a turn or shift in the subject or perspective seen in a sonnet. And the majority of the time, the volta falls into the couplet, which are the 2 lines. It's something that changes. So if you looked at Sonnet 130, it talks about all these things about how the author's mistress is nothing, her eyes are nothing like the sun, and her hair is ugly. But then at the end, it changes. That's the volta. It shifts to say, but I still love her no matter what. Then we have what's called iambic pentameter. And I'm not really going to stress iambic pentameter because it's really hard, but it is part of a Shakespearean sonnet. So it's a pattern or a rhythm established in lines of a sonnet by the use of 10 beats per line made up of alternating unstressed and stressed syllables. So really each line should have 10 syllables and it should be stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed. So it should go like when you say it out loud. But again, we're not going to really focus on iambic pentameter too much because honestly, it's really hard. My goal for you is to ensure that you can do the quatrains, the rhyme scheme, and the couplet at the end. All right, so tomorrow, again, I am not going to be here. Miss Pat is once again going to be your lovely sub because she's amazing, let's face it. We love Miss Pat in our lives. You're going to watch another video about sonnets. We're going to analyze them. We're going to learn the rhyme scheme. And then you're going to actually practice on your own with a sonnet as well. But I will be back Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we are going to start working on our own sonnets, which should be exciting. Some of you might be nervous. Some of you might be saying, oh my gosh, I cannot stand this. I hate poetry. It's fine. You can hate poetry all day long. I might be the only English teacher who likes poetry, to be honest with you. So we will work on it together and you guys are going to do great. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please send me an email. Just let me know what's going on. I will gladly help you when I can get to my computer. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow virtually. Bye.